Very good morning. Today Friday 13th of November 2015. Paper highlights read by Edward Udedas Devasagayampillai. You are listening to athavannews.com. Let's move to paper highlights today on Daily Mirror. Will abolish executive presidency. President vows before mortal remains of Venerable Sobhita Thera. President Maithripala Sirisena yesterday vowed before the mortal remains of Venerable Madhuluvava Sobhita Thera that he would do everything possible under his command to abolish the executive presidency and introduce electoral reforms which the late prelate fought for in the past few years. In the highlights on Daily Mirror, President calls for full report from IGP. The government is concerned over the questionable behavior of MV Athavan just before the raid on it by the Sri Lanka Navy in early October, and President Maithripala Sirisena has asked Police Chief N.K. Ilangakon to submit a report to him on the whole episode, Cabinet spokesman and Minister Dr. Rajitha Senaratne said. In the highlights on Daily Mirror, new engineering faculty at Jayawarthanapura campus. University Education and Highways Minister Laxman Kriyala said a faculty of engineering would soon be set up at the Jayawarthanapura University. In the highlights on Daily Mirror, President only asked to look at possibilities. Justice Minister Vijaydas Rajapaksa said yesterday that President Maithripala Sirisena had only instructed the respective authorities to find out the possibilities of handing over the operations of Athavan to the Sri Lanka Navy. In the highlights on Daily Mirror, LOLC goes to court against Sajin Vas Gunawardena. Lanka Oryx Leasing Company LOLC had filed a civil suit against former Minister Sajin Vas Gunawardena for not handing over a property sold to them and for the recovery of damages for default of handing over the property to the plaintiff. Now let's move to daily news. Bid me farewell. Massive crowds at Parliament grounds. President pays respect for second time. In the highlights on Daily News, TID commences investigation against KPAG. The Attorney General yesterday informed court that the Terrorist Investigation Division has commenced an investigation against LTTE former leader of International Wing Shanmugam Kumaran Padmanathan alias KP over his alleged terrorist involvement. Additional Solicitor General Jayalat Jayasuriya PC appearing for the AG made this revelation when the petition filed by JVP Propaganda. Additional Solicitor General Jayanta Jayasuriya PC appearing for the AG made this revelation when the writ petition filed by JVP Propaganda Secretary Vijitha Herath was taken up before Court of Appeal Justice Vijit K. Malalgoda. Accordingly, the court orders that the progress of the TID investigation against KP, the 8th respondent in the petition, be submitted before court 1 week prior to the next hearing date. In the highlights on Daily News, preparations in Tankol to observe debris fall. The planetarium has set up camp in Tankol and made arrangements to observe the debris of the rockets, which is expected to re-enter the atmosphere and fall into the sea 62 miles off the southern coast of Sri Lanka around 11:45 am today. A Science, Technology and Research Ministry press release stated that according to European Space Agency, the piece of the debris about 2 meters long would be big enough to be observed from the land. In the highlights on Daily News, good governance, a just society, greatest tribute to Sobhita Thera. PM, the great tribute that could be paid to Venerable Madhuluvava Sobhita Thera is to commit to bring about good governance and build a just society where democracy is upheld vibrantly, Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe said yesterday. In the highlights on Daily News, President vows to abolish executive presidency. President Maithripala Sirisena yesterday pledged that he would take all possible measures to abolish the executive presidency as deserved by Venerable Madhuluvava Sobhita Thera. Now let's move to Salon Today. The highlights on Salon Today: investigation into sudden transfer of additional magistrate Pires. President Maithripala Sirisena will take action after an investigation regarding the sudden transfer of Colombo additional magistrate Nishantha Pires, who was presiding over sensitive cases like the Wasim Tajuddin murder and 600 million rupees Silready case, co-cabinet spokesman Minister Rajitha Senaratne said, "It is obvious that there is some unseen force behind this transfer. The government has changed but the state has not changed, but we are changing this. The action taken against Avangard on Wednesday is one action taken to change the state," he said. In the highlights on Salon Today, crisis in Maldives, Avangard involvement speculated Rajitha. Co-cabinet spokesman Minister Rajitha Senaratne hinted that there might be a possibility that controversial security firm Avangard might be involved in the unrest in the Maldives. He added that the Avangard ship, which was seized by the Navy in early October 2015, has its GPS turned off. The ship must always have its GPS turned on. In the highlights on Salon Today, President assures Wigi Tamil political prisoners will be released. President Maithripala Sirisena pledged to Northern Chief Minister C.V. Vigneswaran yesterday that Tamil political prisoners will be released on a statutory basis.